Hey, what's good, barbecue family? It's your boy Joe Mill here, back with Killer Miller Q, and today we busting out the Lone Star Grill to get you this beautiful chuck roast sandwich. Check this thing out right here. Alright, so you normally don't see these videos starting like this. Got us a little rain out here, a little bit of windstorm, Blackstone still open. So the plan for today was breaking out the old Lone Star back there behind that tree, getting us a nice fire going to create this beautiful chuck roast sandwich that we're gonna do today. I had the idea, should I go ahead and just make it easy since it's sprinkling a little bit and just pull out the old pellet grill, or I could go ahead and grab the wood fire and do it on that. But I mean, come on, man, it's not that much rain. Let's just fire it up. We firing it up. I couldn't call myself a Midwesterner if I'm gonna call this rain. There's a little bit of rain, something to knock me off path. Plus, I don't want to change the plan. What we're gonna be doing today is we're gonna start off with the right over the fire. We'll get some beautiful color on this the nice chuck roast that I got here. You can see some marbling. Was able to find these while they was on sale. This one here is 2.4 pounds. Probably hear my little baby running around out here. But this is gonna be beautiful. I haven't done a chuck roast in quite a while. Today for my seasoning, I'm gonna use one of my favorite seasonings that I'm putting on the steak. If I'm not just going with the basic, this Uncle Chris steak seasoning right here, I think will be amazing on this baby right here. This is a nice thick cut of piece of meat. So we'll be applying liberally. And other than that, I'm gonna keep it pretty simple. I will put a little bit of oil on here, high oil, just so I don't burn up too much out there since I'm going directly over the fire. So I'll probably grab my avocado oil, give it a little quick spray after I get it up out of here and pat it dry. And then we're gonna give it a nice covering of this Uncle Chris's all the way around, and I'll meet you right back. Now, as far as the wood, my stack is down pretty low. As you can see, I've already been over here, so I've knocked some of these out the way. Being that it didn't rain that much, I mean, clearly you can see the dampness, you can see the dryness. Go ahead and take them first couple layers off and get to some of that more dry stuff. That's what I'll get started with. And then after I'm getting going, I'm gonna be putting these wood chunks to the side, as I'm gonna show you in just a second, to kind of let them get dried up and cleaned up and along the way, so they'll be ready to go by the time I add them to the fire. So you shouldn't get too much of that smoldering effect. So I got me a couple of them little ones just like that right there. Using that good dry wood didn't take no time once it hit them coals to go ahead and still get blazing. So that's already going. And like I said, some of these wet chunks, ones that got some wetness to it, we'll go ahead and just set it right off to the side. And I'm gonna start letting them heat up. And we're gonna go ahead and create our coals, get everything wiped down, and we'll be ready to rock here in a little bit. And there it is, all seasoned up. So like I said, yanked it out of that bag. It was already cleaned up. But you had a lot of blood and everything on there, so I kind of patted it dry with a general napkin, and then from there hit it with a little bit of my avocado spray, 100% pure, and then a nice liberal coating all the way around. And really what I do is I'll season the top and I'll season the bottom, and all of that extra along the sides I'll pretty much use to do my sides with, and then maybe just do a little touch up. But you can put a pretty liberal amount of seasoning on there. This is a nice fat piece of chuck roast, but Uncle Chris, we're gonna see if you can do it again. I'm gonna let this hang out a little bit as my pit continues to come up to temp. I can tell that now my smoke and everything is stopped, which lets me know it's burning good. Time for me to throw a couple more logs in. I'm gonna close it up, really let it get up to temp now, and we should be good in a minute. All right, it's about time to go. This thing has been sitting out. As you can tell, it is relaxed completely. It is even flattened out a little bit. The seasoning's got a kind of chance to get in there a little bit deeper. And now I'm definitely up to room temp. My plan is, I got pecan wood out there. Ooh, excuse me. I got pecan wood out there burning strong. We're gonna start with a direct sear, get some beautiful color on here. Then I'm gonna sit it back and let it get some smoke. Meet you at the pit. See it? Alright, so here go the wood situation. Normally you can always solve for, at least with this Lone Star, always having you some dry wood, especially since I keep mine up under the tarp. I didn't have this full. This holds a ton of wood. It's not even close to being full right now, but at least what I wanted to do in case it does get to coming down pretty hard, take the wood that was already respectfully dry, get it over here. It's definitely warm under there too, so it can start drying out, but then also not get any more wet, and I can at least have me a little bit to the side. Other than that, I got my griddle plate removed I got a little something sitting over there to the side, about ready to burn as soon as I throw it in. My grates was already oiled up, along with the old steak. So we're gonna get this on. I said steak. Basically it is chuck roast steak. Let's get it on there. And there we go. I'm gonna quickly go ahead and give this about 1 to 2 minutes. I'll come back, give it a flip, and we'll see what things is looking like. So it's been 2 minutes and this thing still isn't quite where I want it to be. It's pretty fat. So what all I did was kind of move it around a little bit, give it another spot. I'm gonna let it get a nice crust over before I worry about it too much, but you always gotta check it. At least I like to do every minute, just so I kind of got an idea how my fire is burning. This is a little far away. This is a big piece of meat. I got a second before I come get it again, but just want to give you a heads up. Hey, and I want to jump in here real quick, team, and let you know, thanks for following along on today's cook. If you're new to the channel, go to that bottom right corner. Make sure you subscribe. Check out any videos you've missed. And if you haven't done it already, find me on Facebook, IG, and TikTok. Got lucky. That was probably a good 4 minutes or so that it took for me to get there. Nice even looking crust, so it's nice having those coals down low, but not too much of a fire kicked up. So I am gonna hurry up and close this up. Let's get this other side pretty much looking the same. I'll give a little love on the side and we're gonna let it ride. And it's barely been a minute, but usually after that first side is done, I feel like it always cooks a little faster. You can tell the overall brownness is kind of starting to happen. I can see a little bit of the cooking action going on down there. Let's get a little peek. Getting close. I'll let it get a little bit more. I'm gonna move it just so I can get a different action and give it another minute. After 2 minutes on that other side, we were looking pretty decent. So now I'm kind of giving that side a little bit. I might try to see if I can get some on that side, and that's pretty good. Nice little color. Last side, we looking good all over. Just a little kiss. Just want a little bit of char flavor in there. This is gonna be good. Alright, I feel that it's probably been more than enough, and my baby fell over, but the bottom side got a little love. I can see my little side splitting started to catch on, which is good because you about to get added in. I'm gonna pull this off of here, let this hang out for a half a second, and we get the fire stoked up, and we're gonna slide over here to the indirect chamber and get some smoke, and we're gonna start letting this cooking process begin. And we all transitioned over. Got me a little bit of wood in there, some wood off to the side, kind of warming up, just so I got an idea where we're at. 106-ish, so I can get me a good amount of smoke on here. Like I said, I'm trying to take it all the way till it's pool tender, which means we're going close to 200. However, I don't want it to lose all the fat before I wrap it up. So it looks like I'm 110, 113 in some areas. That'll be good. It's still pretty tough. I can tell by the push in. So let's get some smoke. I'll bring y'all back in here in about close to an hour. And I'm coming back in here. Full disclosure, I thought I hit my timer like normal, and somehow it didn't get on here. I think I'm roughly at about an hour because I'm out of wood, which usually I'm always refilling every about 45 minutes or so. And I was up a little bit high, so I was kind of letting it just kind of hang out until my temperature came down, because I really wasn't trying to cook too high, and I wanted to be able to get some good smoke in there. So as you can see, I grabbed one of the logs that was already on the side along with one of the ones that I had underneath. Got me another one to the side, but I'm gonna let that kind of burn a little bit while this is still open, still giving off a little extra smoke. I had dropped down to roughly around 225. Haven't opened this baby back up yet, but the firebox have been open. I meant to say 250, so you can see that change. Ooh, look at the beautiful color, moisture, chuck roast. You gotta love with that fat content. I can tell you right now, it's time for me to get this off of here, because I don't want the full cook to happen here, and I don't want to lose all of my juice. This looks good, and I haven't even taken a temperature check, but let's see. It still feels pretty tight. 160-ish, which is perfect. Rain's starting to come down again pretty decently now. I mean, you get a nice little kick up. So, I'm gonna tell you about my dilemmas and my life like normal. We're gonna figure this thing out. We got my aluminum foil that I have folded over because this is a long piece of that heavy duty aluminum foil because I want this to be nice and thick and I want to give it a good covering. I ain't even too mad at that little bit of water getting on there right now. This is good enough. We're going to go ahead and close this down. Now, initially, I was thinking that, hold on, I didn't want to take away too much of my beefy flavor, so I really didn't want to put nothing on here too crazy. As far as I think I had thought about doing maybe just some beef broth, just a tad, but then a lot of times you end up taking your thing, make it taste like roast beef. Or I was thinking about maybe just a little bit of Worcestershire mixed with beef broth, just something, but then I started thinking like that's going to change my flavor. Well, I forgot. Last week we had a beautiful video that if you haven't checked out, you need to check out. We made some of this smoked cowboy butter that I still got in here. I warmed it up just a little bit so it would be liquid. If I'm going to add something in here and if I'm going to change the flavor, let me put a little smoked cowboy butter on here. That's what I thought about. And that way this doesn't go to waste. So as you can see, we got a beautiful looking color. And I keep tasting my hands every time I touch this. That Uncle Steve's seasoning is amazing on here. That fat really comes out of that chuck roast. But I'm going to go ahead and give it a decent dousing of this right here. We're going to wrap it up nice and tight. And I'm going to let it sit out here for at least, I guess, another 45 minutes. Okay, let's get a little bit of this on here with my opposite hand. I ain't going to be too afraid of this because I want, there we go, get some of that goodness on there. I want some of this to be left in there. This is going to get pulled at the end of it. So I think it's going to be a beautiful flavor with that cowboy butter in there. All right, we got our knapsack put together. I'm going to go ahead and close this thing back down. Not too worried if it kicks up a little bit in temp now, but probably around 275 we'll be hitting that. And we're going to finish these out. All right, team, I'm bringing you back up in here. We holding strong, burning slow and easy. It has been about 43 minutes since we initially wrapped this baby up. I'm just going to peel this top layer back and see if we have got to about our temps. It smells great out here. Looking to get perfect. Just about to say, I'm looking to get to about 200. Starting to feel nice and soft. Okay, that's pretty good. Let's get it up off of here. I'm going to leave it wrapped up. We're going to let it hang out for a while. And we got to start preparing the bun. It's pretty simple. I'm just going to toss this in the microwave to hang out. I got a nice ciabatta bun that I think instead of actually cutting apart, we're just going to throw out there to smoke and warm up. We on this ciabatta bread. We about to throw this in here. I don't want to get it too crispy, so I'm actually going to put the whole loaf in here. Let it get warmed up in the indirect chamber. And then we'll go ahead and cut it in half. We'll be ready to assemble the sandwich. Okay, it has at least been 10 minutes. This ciabatta bread should be more than warm enough. Don't mind that little chicken over there for the week. Let's get right to it. We got this baby up out of the microwave. It has had more than enough time to calm down. There's a lot of juice in here. And you see we didn't add that much. So that means we got a great little bit of a rendering process. Let me pull this out and we're going to pull this up together with these two forks. Ooh. Still a little bit of steam coming up off of this thing, and it is super juicy. The flavor that's coming off of that garlic, or I mean that smoked cowboy butter, along with the seasoning that came up out of here, I'm super happy. Let's pull this thing real quick, and I'm going to show you what it looked like. All right, we got our pulled beef, and I'm going to tell you something. Flavor is popping. Good smoke in here. Nice and juicy. I'm about to add this back over here. We'll get back to that ciabatta. And here is the magic back into this juice. I have been ripping and running, taking care of a few things. So I'll probably have to warm this back up. But it's all pulled, nice and juicy and hella flavorful. Again, I love that Uncle Chris's steak rub, and that smoked garlic butter was a perfect compliment. We got to go get this ciabatta together like I told you. Really not too much to do. I'm going with shredded lettuce. We're going to throw in a little bit of tomato, a little bit of Duke's mayo, and we're going to test the sandwich out. Got my ciabatta bread here. I have already used my bread knife to kind of cut that thing out. I went with the thin ciabatta too, so that way it's not going to be super bready. And I actually was initially not planning on using any cheese, but we had just, my little baby and my wife actually just had shredded some smoked either smoked Gouda or smoked cheddar, along with some fresh cheddar. So I think what we're gonna do is give me a nice bed of this cheese here at the bottom after we hit with one layer of some of this Duke's mayo. Bam, as you see right there, some of the best. And then I'm gonna go ahead and throw this back out there on the smoker, let this cheese melt in a little bit. My meat is actually back out there warming up. I'm gonna add it on top of there too. And then pretty much all I'm gonna do is come on top with a little bit of Duke's mayo, lettuce, and some tomatoes that we have already sliced up. And then I can chop this thing into about fourths, and we can get us a taste. Oh, I'm getting excited. We almost at the end of this cook. I'm still pumping along. 225. Got a little bit of wood in here. Like I said, I brought this in here, put it into a metal pan, just so this can move it around a little bit. Got warmed back up. What I'm going to do, both ciabatta buns, got some Duke's mayo on there as you see, getting a little extra smoke. We're gonna load this cheesy side up with some of this great meat, which I have had the pleasure of eating too much already. But the flavor is what I was looking for. Wifey done already retired to the room. You know what that means. All the damage happens now. Now, we're gonna pile it on nice and heavy. I'll leave a little bit so I can play with and eat. I'm gonna give it about 5 minutes or so out here. Take on this last little bit of smoke. Let my cheese go ahead and get nice and cheesy. Come on, man. The flavor. Something about that chuck roast. I actually think I lost a piece down there. Damn, they made me want to move this grate and go get it. But we're gonna let this thing chill just like you see it. 5 minutes. I'll bring you right back. It has been long enough. Another good 5 minutes or so. My cheese is melted. We smelling nice and smoky. I got my beautiful sous chef here to help me out. It's time to get this plate or this sandwich on the old plate. Back in the house. Let's get this baby. Man, it smells good. Let's go ahead and get me some lettuce on here. And then let me go ahead and hit them with some of these hot house tomatoes. I got some pretty nice and ripe ones. Get a nice covering. I tried to told you. This thing about to come together. We gonna slice it up and make us 4 sections. And you know what time it is. These are 4 mammoth style sandwiches. Yeah. Let me show you that cross section. And I'm gonna need both hands to bite this. Hold on. I'm so happy I put that cheese on there. And that's a wrap. That smoked chuck roast sandwich right there was absolutely fire. That Uncle Chris is on there. That sear that we gave it right off the bat from that direct fire, coming back with that smoke from the pecan wood on there on the Lone Star. Overall, I'm giving that a 10 out of 10. I also like from the last time when I made this sandwich, switching over to that ciabatta bread, and adding in that smoked cowboy butter was just the level up of level ups. Definitely this is one that you should do, and I will be doing again. Super easy cook, but always fun, especially to go play in a little bit of rain. Wasn't too much and it wasn't too bad out there. Shouts out to my family, you over there, and my boys in Black Smoke Barbecue. Catch you in a week.